The XRP Ledger just hit 1.6 million transactions in a single day. That's a clear sign of rising on-chain activity. But despite this milestone, XRP's price hasn't followed with the kind of upward push that many investors were hoping for. As of now, XRP is trading around $2.27, above recent resistance levels, but still well below the highs some had anticipated. So what's going on? Crypto researcher and market commentator Ripple Van Winkle has weighed in on this disconnect. While he acknowledges the spike in XRPL transactions as a strong signal of utility, he also explains why that alone doesn't guarantee a price breakout. Let's walk through his argument and what it tells us about the current XRP market setup. According to Van Winkle, the 1.6 million transactions recorded on the XRP Ledger over 24 hours are not just empty metrics. They show that the XRPL is being used seriously and regularly. This isn't just speculative trading. In his words, the sharp rise in daily transactions shows real use of the XRP network. This is an indication of growing adoption. But, and here's the catch, use doesn't always mean price movement. That's because price is primarily driven by trade volume, not just network activity. Van Winkle points out that while XRP's transaction count is up, trading volume hasn't followed. Data from CoinMarketCap shows that XRP's average 24-hour volume over the past few days has stayed around $1.9 billion. For comparison, that's strong, but not breakout territory for a top-tier crypto asset in a bullish setup. And this lack of strong trading activity explains why XRP has struggled to move decisively. At the time of his comments, XRP was below key resistance levels at $2.22 and $2.23. He noted that without a break above those levels, any upward momentum would likely stall. Interestingly, XRP has now pushed past that resistance zone and is trading at $2.27. That's progress, but Van Winkle warns that it's not confirmation of a breakout just yet. Looking at price action, Van Winkle notes that XRP has been forming higher lows since early June. This usually points toward a potential bullish breakout. But the key missing ingredient is buyer conviction. For this pattern to resolve upward, Van Winkle says trading volume needs to accompany the setup. Without stronger demand, even a technically strong chart can collapse under its own weight. So while the trend is developing, buyers still seem to be waiting for a clearer signal. This leads to another important question. Who's behind the transaction surge? Van Winkle posed this question directly on X, writing, "Is this rise in transactions because of new institutional players or just more settlement activity? If new institutions are stepping back into the XRP ecosystem, that could signal incoming capital, and with it, price momentum. But if the transaction increase is just routine use by existing users or internal system operations, then the market impact could remain limited." This distinction matters. XRP has seen major rallies in the past when both on-chain activity and exchange volume moved in sync. Right now, that alignment isn't fully there. Van Winkle outlines two key price levels that traders should be watching now: $2.40 and $2.55. A confirmed break above these levels, backed by strong volume, could kick off the next meaningful rally. Until then, the market is likely to remain cautious. Traders are observing, not chasing. They're waiting for more than just on-chain usage. They're looking for confirmation through price and liquidity. To sum up, XRP's network is active. The XRPL is thriving. But price still depends on real trading interest, and that part of the equation hasn't fully caught up yet. Van Winkle's analysis reminds us that utility and price don't always move in parallel. The infrastructure may be growing, but until trading volume confirms it, XRP could stay range-bound. Still, if institutions are returning and price continues to hold above key levels like $2.25, the setup could change quickly. Thanks for watching. Stay sharp, track the data, and let's see if this growing utility finally gets the price response it's waiting for.